Hello, and welcome to a timeless synchronicity reading for the Myers-Briggs type INFJ. My name is Brandon Curtis Demery, and I am an MBTI certified practitioner. I also hold a certification in neuro-linguistic programming. I hold a degree from the Juilliard School for acting, where I spent many years, both before and after, in the entertainment industry. As an actor, as a performer, really studying and getting to know the mind-body connection. I have since moved on to establishing my own website and services for people in the entertainment industry and in the Myers-Briggs community who use the theory of cognitive functions for their egoic transformations in life. In order to better understand both their inward preferences for the cognitive functions and then the outward expression of that through relating to other types and friends, family, loved ones, people in the community, for a better understanding of, yes, in part, our differences, but we are more similar than we are different. And I hope that this timeless synchronicity reading for you, the INFJ, I hope that you see it as an intuitive exercise, for that is the exact point of this reading. I'm going to be using the Shamanic Healing Oracle deck by Michelle Motvas, or Matuvas. Sorry, Michelle, if I mispronounced your name. And then we're going to look at we're going to pull 7 cards from that deck, from the Shamanic Healing deck, and look at what's going on in each of your chakras. And then we will use the Jungian Tarot by Robert Wang to get some more details on your current situation. What I will prep you with, INFJ, in understanding before the cards come out, is look at this as an intuitive exercise. Look for the synchronicity in what is going on in your life and whatever messages, information comes out in the cards. Look for the synchronicity. You might know that Jung himself coined the term synchronicity, as well as the shadow self and the individuation process. On my website, Entpgathering, you can get a list of my services and book me, or purchase a package where you will purchase the MBTI assessment, as well as provide enough information to me so that I can research and your astrological chart, and also calculate your sacred numerology. I put all of these 3 together in my services to offer up to all of my clients a more complete package of understanding the internal self, not only the mind of the INFJ and the INFJ's preferences for cognitive functions, but also the very real energetic the very real energy that comes from all of us as humans is a combination of various points of information or points of reference. Again, I use astrology, cognitive functions theory. I also help my clients with their attachment style. I help clients who have been through narcissistic abuse, or codependent or dependent relationships in their life. And I teach them how to break out of these patterns. And I use astrology, cognitive functions theory, attachment style, and your own sacred numerology. So you might be familiar with the so-called Enneagram. Well, I I combine that with all of the aforementioned typology systems so that you can better understand yourself and how the egoic mind, the egoic heart, and body is but one part of a greater complete package that is you, the INFJ. So without further ado, here we go. I hope you're doing well. Please like and share and follow, and certainly hit that bell to subscribe. I will and have already started posting very specific timeless synchronicity readings for the other MBTI types. I am beginning with intuitive dominance, as I am an intuitive dominant, and an intuitive dominant with intuition as their perceiving function in the dominant or auxiliary position gives us that edge when it comes to psychic gifts, ESP, and of course intuition. In the tarot, in these oracle cards, I will relate the cognitive functions to the 4 elements, and then further, what we will discuss in the Jungian tarot, the connection between the archetypes in the cards and the planets and comets and stars that are in our solar system and actually provide us energy. Varied energy depending on its source. Sun energy is different than moon energy. Earth energy is different than Saturnian energy. All right, so here we go. By the way, my reported type is INTP, but my best fit type is ENTP. INFJ in your root or first house of the zodiac. Got the number 32, which might be significant to you, and struggle. You see here a fish, like a salmon, maybe guided by the star, swimming upstream. And in your sacral chakra, I do like this card because the sacral chakra is water, it's creative, it's sacred sexuality, and you have here card number 17, feminine energy. That is the chakra of and the second house is ruled by Venus. Of our astrological chart. So Taurus energy. I happen to be a triple Taurus, sun, moon, and rising plus Saturn. INFJs that I know are often 4s on the Enneagram, the so-called Enneagram. Surprise, the Enneagram is actually, the 9 types are actually the first 9 signs of the zodiac, or the first 9 houses, Aries to Sagittarius. So in your second house, which is ruled by Venus, you have feminine energy. Second house is also ruled by Taurus. I mentioned that. All right, third house or solar plexus chakra, we have abundance. Card number 13 might be significant. We have 3 coins, 3 medallions. Looks like some sort of currency. 3 is the first number of the numbers that can actually create a pattern. So maybe you are starting a new work venture, money-making project. Although abundance comes in various forms, it's not just money. It's it's like the cake, and money would be icing on a cake. It's what holds everything together. Abundance, that feeling of home, that feeling of the feeling is without lack. It's being safe and secure and happy and feeling content, even when one has but 3 coins. 4th house is ruled by Cancer and the moon. Or 4th chakra is the heart chakra. Here I like this. We got sacred space, card number 21. 2 and 1 is 3. So there's some transformational work, or maybe because of this abundance in your solar plexus, you have effectively created a sacred space here in the heart chakra. I like that. That's very nice. Especially after in the root chakra. The root chakra is all about safety and security. Think Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Think self-pres on the so-called Enneagram subtype. And it appears to me that after this, whatever struggle you've been through, you are really sitting in your feminine power. And no matter what your gender may be, masculine or feminine, we each have a feminine side and a masculine side. And it's often through egoic death processes, it's often through understanding oneself that one comes to this realization that, oh, hey, I'm exerting way too much masculine energy. And I need to balance it out with maybe becoming more vulnerable with my friends, my family, my coworkers, with myself, first and foremost. Because once one achieves that balance between masculine and feminine within the self, that's where self-love is generated, in this sacred space, in the heart space. If any of this is resonating for you, again, please like it. And also use whatever may resonate with you as a healthy, effective trigger, meaning divination and explorations and readings of this kind, where we're tapping into the collective conscience, it is, as I said at the top of the reading, it should be experienced as an intuitive exercise, something where you put in some work and some effort and reap benefits. Here, by looking for the synchronicities, identifying what resonates with you, and then leaving everything else for the others in this collective reading, is the practice and the art of discernment, which is absolutely essential if one is to complete or walk through the individuation process as developed by Carl Jung, this process of the hero's journey. That's what's in the major arcana of the tarot. And then the minor arcana and the court cards speak to the day-to-day energies that we encounter living this life as we do as sentient beings. All right, excellent. 2 more. Can't make this up. Here's a synchronicity. Discernment. Card number 6 in the throat energy center, which is ruled by Taurus. Six is also the house of Virgo on our astrological chart, which I always say, and I know to be very much about the mind-body connection. So it would make sense that discernment comes out, not only after what I've just talked about, but here in the fifth chakra of the throat, Taurus energy, grounded earth energy. Here a bird is perched above ground on a branch, and I was relating to the number 6. It is the sixth house of the zodiac, and that's Virgo. That's about mind-body connection. So it makes sense that discernment, that I'm talking about discernment here in the throat chakra, and also relating it to the third eye position, or the sixth card here of the 7, which is the third eye position. Card number 19, unlimited possibilities. The third eye and the solar plexus work together, as do the heart and the throat. Your third eye is unlimited possibilities, card number 19, and the solar plexus is abundance, card number 13. I'm picking up some money-making venture, or that simply abundance, when you're truly grounded and in positive, creative, feminine energy, having created that sacred space in your heart space, that abundance is filled with unlimited possibilities. There's a great relationship, I think, in the words of abundance and unlimited possibilities. In the crown chakra, which is actually connected to your sacral of card number 17, feminine energy, you have the card home, card number 44. 444 is an angel number related to the angels and archangels. You got the sacred space in the heart space, and in the crown you have home. That's beautiful. Bottom of the deck, ancient wisdom, card number 34. I like to look at the bottom of the deck card as an overview for the cards that came from that deck that are out on the table and at play. Excellent. So what I will do next is shuffle, and I'm going to pull 7 for each of the chakras, and then I'm going to pull 4 to find out what's going on in your dominant, auxiliary, tertiary, and inferior functions, which are, starting with the dominant and working our way down to inferior, for the INFJ, introverted intuition, extroverted feeling, introverted thinking, and extroverted sensing. Jung himself, through his individuation process, used divination tools like tarot, numerology. He did coin the phrase synchronicity. Shuffle. That one's sticking out. Looks like we have the Queen of Cups, Cancerian energy in the struggle position in the root chakra. Maybe it looks like there was some past struggle, but Queen of Cups energy is very much about nurturing, loving, feminine energy in very intuitive as well. Second card out, you have the Hanged Man. This is Piscean energy, a mutable water energy in the feminine energy of the sacral chakra. After the Queen of Cups, I would say this intuition that you have in your root, your base, is bringing you enlightenment. And you move into a mutable water, Pisces. And the Hanged Man, or woman, is the story of Odin, who hung himself from the tree of the 9 realms for enlightenment, killing off essentially the ego. It's a sacrifice. Card number 12 of the major arcana in tarot. Okay, spirits. In the solar plexus, you have the King of Swords. This is Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. This is masculine air energy. Air and fire are masculine energies, where water and earth are feminine. In your heart space, you have 2 of Cups. Cancerian energy. Balance. This is in your sacred space. And then in your throat chakra, you have 10 of Wands. Sagittarius energy. 10 is a number of completion. With Wands energy, which is fire, which would be intuition. And by the way, TI is air or swords in the tarot. Then you have Cups, would be water. That would be the feeling, judging function. And Earth, which is the sensing function. Again, intuition is going to be fire, the element of fire. Here you have 10 of Wands on the throat chakra of discernment. So this is a highly spiritual card, or it can be. It can also indicate carrying way too many burdens. 222, as I said that. 2222, as I said that. Well, let's be honest, hey? Discernment is a lesson learned, is something that does take practice and lots of work. And this is a card that indicates resilience, and it can be overworking and burnout, or carrying too much of other people's energy. So that practice of discernment for an INFJ who don't shoot the messenger, and this is my only opinion, and my only, well, it's my experience too with being an FE user, extroverted feeling. You know, that FE in your second position, your auxiliary position, and as an ENTP, it's in my third. FE, I've found, when I am using it with my extroverted intuition as an ENTP, does create burnout. I'm giving way too much to other people, and I become either dependent or codependent. And I often see this, again, don't shoot the messenger, this is simply in my opinion, the INFJs that I know, they often struggle with maintaining a healthy boundary with others. And I love me some INFJ, really big hearts, Queen of Cups, and also very insightful, the Hanged Man. But, or yet, sometimes the big heart needs to be kept as a sacred space. 2 of Cups, in the heart chakra, you've got the sacred space. So this union of coming together, INFJ, with yourself before doing any work for anyone else is going to be key in maintaining healthy boundaries with others, especially those who those who are absolutely aware of your gifts and your heart and your intellect, and understand your need for connection, sometimes at the expense of maintaining a healthy, energetic, emotional boundary with the self and with others. So in your third eye space, you have, well, I love this. This is the Strength card, another major arcana. This is Leo energy, fire energy, fixed fire energy. And it's following the 10 of Wands, which is intuition. I would say this is, in the third eye, on top of unlimited possibilities, a strength that will open you up to, well, the next card out is home. Open you up to a strength, yes, but also a vulnerability, because you see you have a female figure with a lion standing, not necessarily guarding, but almost looks like a domesticated animal, does it not? So this strength in being vulnerable and feminine around something so potentially dangerous shows great strength, of a kind that INFJs are quite famous for. Are you not? All right, in your crown, we've got 5 of Wands. This is, again, Leo energy. And 5 of Wands usually indicates competition of a sort. And it's over the home card. Card of home, 44, and angels. Leo energy is also, if high enough vibing, it is a spiritual fire, yet masculine. 5 of Wands might indicate an internal or external conflict of passions, of intuition. Maybe you might, as an INFJ, being highly intuitive yourself with or introverted intuition as your dominant function, maybe you question or disagree with some things in the reading. That's fine. That is a natural process of discernment. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Swords. There are court cards in the tarot which indicate masculine and feminine energies of each of the elements. So you have the King and Queen of Cups, King and Queen of Wands, Earth or Pentacles, and Wands, which would be fire. You also have a Knight in each of the courts. The Knight indicates action. Expressed through that element's energy. And then the Page would be, it could represent like a son or a daughter or a child, a relative, somebody youthful and younger. But I feel that it is one's own inner child, holding the ace of whatever suit or element it's holding, that all aces are given by the divine, or 2929, as I said that, or all aces are manifested or co-created with you and spirit, with source, whatever your higher self, whatever you look to for guidance that is not another human being. That is what spirit is to me. So you can put in universe, you can say God, you can say ancestors, spirit guides, my higher self. That all works because it's effectively the same energy or related energy. Okay, so I will now pull 4 cards and ask the universe to show me what's going on in the collective INFJ's cognitive stack. So I am looking at the chakras. I think there's a healthy balance of, you've got a little air, but you know, TI is in your 3rd position. That's good. You've got 2 major arcana, strength, Leo energy, and you have the Hanged Man, Piscean energy, Leo and the Sun, Pisces and Neptune. The planet Neptune rules over the sign of Pisces. Queen of Cups, King of Swords, and then the Page of Swords that we saw. Okay, this fell out. It's a court card. Interesting. Queen of Pentacles, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo energy. Thank you. Wow, lots of court cards. What's up with this? And I'm going to actually read from the book because the Jungian Tarot is based on Jung's, not beliefs, but his work during the individuation process brought him to tarot, or tarot came to him, and he used it as an intuitive exercise to help him understand and develop his cognitive function of introverted intuition, his dominant function. Same as the INFJ. He identified as an INFJ, as did Catherine Cook Briggs. Her daughter Isabel Myers identified as an INFP. Okay. And I'm reading from this because it does differ from the regular tarot that you'll see in other readings. Okay. Queen of Pentacles in your dominant function speaks of the sun being in Capricorn and the moon being in Cancer. Capricorn and Cancer are opposite signs. And I often find that INFJs relate to the so-called Enneagram 4 type. And I'll have you know that all of the Enneagram numbers are actually the first 9 signs of the zodiac, or first 9 houses. So the 4th house is ruled by Cancer and the moon. This is why you might be very emotionally charged, as INFJs are, with introverted intuition as your dominant function, and then FE there to balance that out and put that energy out into the collective and get a reflection back. That's a nice balance between those functions. But as I said earlier in the reading, FE to me, or at least when I've moved it up and used it with my extroverted intuition, that's 2 extroverted energies that I'm using cognitively. And that does set me up for burnout, being overextended, giving myself weight, giving myself over to other people's, their wishes, their desires, rather than creating and maintaining my own sacred space. I find that when INFJs, or I've observed, that when they have overextended, maybe they have become too codependent, they become codependent or dependent on something, that they actually bring TI up to use with NI. And this puts them in a state of, well, you know, I've heard tell of the INFJ feeling when they are working out some energy that they lose sense of their body, because SE, or extroverted sensing, is actually their inferior function. So yes, when you bring that third function up, that TI, and use it with NI, I think that's when you do lose that feeling of, or walk into that feeling of out of body experience that you simply can't stop or get back into your body. I know this. It's a very heady and emotion-filled presence about you, when at the same time you feel sometimes disconnected from the world around you. All right, Queen of Pentacles. So Capricorn rules the 10th house. Capricorn is cardinal earth energy, so it's initiating energy. It can be very productive, leading to abundance. In fact, 3 of Pentacles is Capricorn energy. The secretive mother, economical to extreme, very reserved, selfish, seeks business success, thinks wealth and power justify the means, extremely secretive about her personal life, deeply insecure, almost borderline paranoia, a good mother and good businesswoman at best, devious and plotting at worst. Practice discernment, and certainly don't take on any energy that does not feel authentic. What I'm picking up here is what jumps out to me is economical to extreme, very reserved. That's to be expected of an INFJ, I feel. Secretive about your personal life. And mind you, you could be a male INFJ watching this reading, and that's fine. If I haven't said it before, everybody has masculine and feminine in them, and the art and practice of discernment is noticing that energy and how to use it, again, with the Strength card. That nice balance of fire energy of Leo, which is inherently masculine, mixed with this feminine energy that is of vulnerability. Deeply insecure and almost borderline paranoia also jumps out a little, a bit. Good mother and good businesswoman, most certainly. So with this abundance here, discernment, creating the sacred space, with a little bit of struggle here with the Queen of Cups, that might have made you somewhat secretive or insecure. But I think with the Hanged Man, this abundance, sacred space, I think you have moved out or are in the process of moving away from this feeling too vulnerable, or you've given too much of yourself and you're backing off from groups, friends and associations, so that you can regenerate that energy that gives you that bold assertiveness, or at the very least, a very strong sense of security within the self. Love it. Okay, so next up in your auxiliary function, you have the Fool, Plutonian energy. Pluto is a binary system, a planet. Pluto itself is about 18% the size of our moon, but it has a satellite called Charon, and they have an interesting relationship. So when anybody when I talk about the planet Pluto, know that it's a binary system. Pluto, archetype of creative emptiness, collective idea, and organized group, the underworld, the dead, originality, reproduction, regeneration, social urge, ideas ahead of their time which will not bear fruit until the next generation, foundations for advancement of human welfare, the non-existent roots of the collective unconscious. So this is very much INFJ energy to me, that introverted intuition coupled with extroverted feeling, speaks to the social urge, ideas ahead of their time, as intuition is a precognitive energy. And with that extroverted feeling and introverted intuition working together, that is how the INFJ picks up potential for foundations for advancement of human welfare. You see yourself and you see the other in yourself at the very same time as an INFJ, with introverted intuition and extroverted feeling. But if discernment isn't practiced, if you're not aware of this, that exchange of energy, that observation, and the inspiration that you glean from it can become dependent or codependent. The Fool card in the tarot is also my faith card. All right, next up you have the card, another major arcana. You've got a court card with the Queen of Pentacles, then the Fool, and now the Justice card in your tertiary position. Libra energy, 7th house energy, air energy, cardinal air energy. Archetype of punishment and reward, justice, equilibrium, a card of poise, balance, and artistry, cooperation, neatness and preciseness, pleasantness and agreeability, but sensitivity about having decision questioned, a certain moodiness, highs and lows, justice, which is fair, may be administered in emotional and temperamental ways. The third function, if you are part of the MBTI community, it's usually given a polarity, an energy, either extroverted or introverted. In the case of an INFJ, it would be introverted thinking. However, something to think about, and what I teach in my coaching using MBTI, astrology, and NLP, is that remove from any idea or notion that that third function is extroverted or introverted, and then choose, using discernment, if you're going to extrovert or introvert your thinking when it comes to relating to other people or any object, whether that's a goal in life, work, or a spouse, loved one, family member. Sometimes you do, with so much powerful introverted energy, with intuition as your dominant function, and then introverted thinking, if you can discern and choose when to extrovert that thinking and consider the thinking and the structures that others cognitively follow. Does that even make sense? That others use in order to live and function, it'll give you a better understanding of the tribe, of group think. And then you can simply choose when you want to be vulnerable and actually take part in said group think. Because it's not all mad. We just need discernment to determine what is ours, energy, and what does not belong to us. All right, finally, so you've got Earth as your intuition. I feel like you're grounded. And you got Pluto. The planet Pluto is about transformation, death and transformation. In your feeling, in your extroverted feeling space. And then justice and equilibrium. So whatever transformation is going on in your relating to others is bringing for you in your in your thinking, in your objective observation and facts of the world around you and inside you, you are, I think, creating that sacred space with abundance by practicing discernment, and it is bringing you justice, spiritual justice, and also this equilibrium, this balance of self. And I'm picking up balance between the emotions and the body here with this earth energy, Queen of Pentacles. Last but not least, at least in your inferior function, you have Four of Swords. This is Libra energy, again, right after Justice. 4 is a number of the 4th house, 4 on the Enneagram. This is about the self. This is the energy that we feel creates a home. Remember home in the crown chakra? A home within ourselves. So swords would represent air, or TI or TE. Here it would be TI because it is a card in the tarot that indicates rest, mental rest, recuperation, regeneration, restoration. But let's read the description from the guidebook. Because like I said, this deck was designed based on Jung's own ideas of the celestial bodies and the houses of our astrological chart, which he used all these seemingly disparate typology systems along with the one he developed himself of cognitive functions theory. 4 of Swords, Jupiter in Libra. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, or the 9th house. So think 9 on the so-called Enneagram. Jupiter is all about expansion. It's about a higher mind, about learning, about philosophy. Imagination here. Energies among the most positive of deck. Imagination as key to human progress. Creative vision carries civilization forward, friendship, mysticism, journey into unconscious possibility and bringing back of ideas and images that affect daily life. If negative, a secret treachery or inability to focus ideas. I mean, there's always a yin and yang to many situations. And even if things are going well with this 4 of Swords, very creative, imaginative energy in your life, in your inferior function, it's interesting because if the cards and the energies lined up with your cognitive function stack, I would expect. I don't expect anything in readings like this because I go with the flow and I'm open with my intuition to the synchronicities and the signs. But if I were thinking linearly, I would expect to see the swords, this introverted, imaginative energy of Jupiter in Libra, to be in your dominant position. And the Queen of Pentacles, earth energy, feminine energy, to be in your inferior, but it's the other way around. I'm picking up, INFJ, that you are very grounded right now, there might be some struggle to remain grounded, but with all this strength, the discernment, the feminine energy. Oh, and I mentioned struggle because that was in our first card, your first card. It's the only card that's come out that is what you might call negative, but it's not. I mean, how often do we go through struggles on the daily in life? And with what's happening in the world right now, on a global, on a mass scale, I think a lot of people are turning inward and coming to people like me for services to help them unpack their lives in a way through astrology, through numerology, through cognitive functions theory, through the individuation process, which is what Carl Jung developed throughout his life. This idea that this dark night of the soul, this hero's journey that is the major arcana of the tarot, he did that. He used tarot as well to facilitate the learning needed and to spark that intuitive inner lens, shine a light on inside his self as it had developed to that point in his life. And I believe he let's see, he was born in 1875. Yeah, so he was in his 40s when his first book came out and was published in 1921. And then in the States, it was published in 1923. That's when Catherine Cook Briggs picked it up and viscerally, immediately understood that this theory of cognitive functions is true. So she then began rallying community members to come in, and just sit down and talk and interview them. And it was through that process, that beginning of the process, that she and her daughter then developed the questions that are psychological opposites rather than logical opposites to accurately pinpoint the subject's, the client's cognitive function stack. So if you go to entpgathering.com, well, first of all, I'm gonna thank you for clicking on this reading and giving your energy over to it, because this is what comes out in the cards. So practice discernment, take only what resonates, and leave the rest for somebody else to whom it belongs. If you go to my website, Entpgathering, and you go to my shop, or if you book a service, most of my services include step 1 and step 2 of the MBTI. If you go to my shop, you can actually purchase both reports, full reports, and also I will calculate your natal astrological chart and your sacred numerology. And then we will meet, we'll go over both reports, and I will introduce you to your astrological chart. So the planets, and what degrees, and the houses that they're in, and how astrology works. I'll also calculate your sacred numerology, and I'll share that information, and we'll put it all together in amazing package of information that you can use as a reference to better understand yourself. And through that, you can access the different parts of you so that you can start consciously exploring your subconscious, or consciously exploring your shadow functions, or using or flexing your cognitive functions. This is what I do, and I love it because I went through the individuation process, just like Jung. I went through the dark night of the soul and came out with all this information that came to me that I found in the collective conscience. And it just so happened that my life had built up to a point that it was a culmination of all these seemingly disparate esoteric practices or areas of study that the universe clearly was showing me to be related. And there's a lot of crossover. Astrology is real. Numerology is real. The Enneagram is the 9 houses of the zodiac, or the 9 signs of the zodiac. Also, the Enneagram, short of the number 10, is actually the tree of life in the Kabbalah. So, it's all related, but different in each form, enough that it does create a blind spot to anybody who might be interested in such subjects. All right, so I want to share with you my happy INFJ, which of the other types you have access to. If you want to access your shadow self, if you want to access your subconscious self, and also the type that your super ego, or that part of you that explodes, and what type that is. So your cognitive function stack as an INFJ is introverted intuition, extroverted feeling, thinking. Remember, remove any idea of a polarity with your third function. 3 is the first number that can create a pattern. So you want that third function to be flexible for yourself. Have an option. I can TE this, or I can TI it. What's going to be discernment? What's going to be best for everybody involved? So your egoic stack is what I just read. That's your ego. Your shadow ego is that of the ENFP. And it wouldn't surprise me if you have a few ENFP friends, or you relate easier to ENFPs, or some ENFPs might trigger you big time. That's because ENFP, extroverted intuition, introverted feeling, extroverted thinking, and introverted sensing is your shadow egoic functions.